You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, let's talk about the Cleveland Browns, more specifically Shedeur Sanders. We got comments from Stefanski, comments from Shedeur. We also have a statement, some comments from Deion, which is rather interesting as he is sort of sending signals in the direction, not sort of, he is sending signals in the direction that there's something going on, something sinister going on behind the scenes with the Cleveland Browns and Shedeur Sanders. Like maybe he's got somebody that's not working in his favor behind the scenes. I know that's been a conspiracy theory for the whole season, okay? For the whole season. We also got Deion talking about his Colorado job. All right? And he's had to come out and make some statements because they're having a disastrous season. And some of his recruits may have not worked out so well, yada, yada, yada. I mean, the AD's having to give him a vote of confidence. I don't think Deion's going anywhere in that program because the fact is Deion keeps a spotlight on that program that Colorado had not had in a very long time. And he's still getting, as long as Colorado is getting those games on TV in certain spots with Colorado involved, he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. Stefanski.
Shedeur is going to start at quarterback. Dylan is still in the concussion protocol. He is improving. But obviously we got to put a plan together for all of our players, all of our offense, our defense, our special teams, plan of attack, and give our guys a chance to go execute and play fast. That's the goal. I want to make sure that all the concepts are things that he feels confident in. Obviously, you know, having been around him over the months, you get a good sense of the things that he's, you know, fit his eye, so to speak. So definitely want to lean into those type of things. And
okay, well, that's one of the first things you do. If you have a rookie quarterback, you have a first-time starter, you get with that quarterback, you figure out what are the plays that he feels comfortable with, and you build a game plan using those plays. All right, he's going to get reps with the starters all week, and it's going to look real interesting, I believe. This is, who would have thought Raiders-Browns is now must-see TV? It's must-watch. It is. I hope Red Zone, they have a tendency to stay away from teams that don't have great records. But I would assume that, I hope Scott Hansen's listening. Y'all better be watching this game. We want to see what this guy's got after a week of preparation.
For instance, I know our fans have a lot of expectations and hope. And I would be doing a disservice to myself and disservice to the organization if I didn't feel like I am the guy. I did everything I need to. I'm doing everything I need to prepare to be the best version of myself as possible. With the circumstances, everything got to be sped up, and that's great. You know, I like pressure in life. I'm just excited for everything. So, you know, I feel like I'm the guy, I know I'm the guy, but, you know, you just have to be able to see. The game got to speak.
Appreciate it.
It's crazy. You see all the media members around here. It is. The last time I remember that kind of thing was Tebow. You know, I'm going to be honest about it. You know, it's different circumstances, different kind of player, yada, yada, yada. But the media and social media around it, you know, and you know, social media was starting. It was getting fired up around Tebow, but man, if Tebow happened today, it would be, wow, it would be something to freaking behold. Deion. Sanders alludes to issues behind the curtains with son Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland. This is wild. Sanders said November 18th that he didn't know yet if he'd make it to Las Vegas to watch Shedeur's first expected start as an NFL quarterback. But Sanders also likes quarterback Dillon Gabriel, Shedeur's teammate with the Browns, and knows what's been going on, quote, behind the curtains this season in Cleveland. I think a lesser man would have crumbled, Deion said of his son at a weekly news conference in Boulder. I haven't made a decision as of yet, he said Tuesday about going to Vegas. I'm so focused on what we have at hand, I'm not thinking about that, although I just got off the phone with him a minute ago. He also said he was fond of Dillon Gabriel. I thought the Ravens would have played better early on to provoke him getting in, Sanders said Tuesday. I didn't want him to get in there by injury because I'm fond of Dillon, and I want him to be successful as well, but I didn't want that to happen. Now, he goes on to talk about issues behind the curtains. I was happy for him just getting the opportunity running on that field because I know the fight behind the fight. Yeah, if I could say that modestly, I know what's been transpiring behind the curtains, and I'm so proud of him because he's not just saying the right things, he's doing and living the right things. That's just who he is. That's really interesting. I would love to understand what the behind the curtain situation is. Is he talking about, I know he's really working his ass off behind the curtains, or there's a bunch of drama behind the curtains? Maybe we'll find out eventually one day. I don't know. And then Deion put this up yesterday. When God wanted to place Joseph in the palace, he didn't give him favor overnight. He gave him betrayal, a pit, and a prison. The hardship before the honor, the setback for the set up. Because delay is not denial, your detour might just be divine. And many people saw that quote and thought, okay, he's talking about Shedeur and the trials and tribulations going on with Cleveland. It's crazy. Again, we got two of the worst teams in the league that's going to play each other, and this is a very interesting contest. It is, because I just put a video out a minute ago. The Raiders have all kinds of drama. I mean, I think Chip Kelly is hanging on by a thread there, or at least he ought to be. On Tuesday, Deion Sanders emphasized that he still should continue as the head coach of the program. He got asked about his job with Colorado. Quote, "You got the right man," Sanders told reporters via Adam Rittenberg of ESPN.com. "I promise you, you do. And I'm going to prove that to you. Just give me an opportunity, a little more time. I'm going to prove that to you." Colorado doesn't have much of a choice. The great second season earned Sanders a 5-year, $54 million extension, putting the Hall of Fame cornerback under contract through 2029, making a parting of the ways expensive to say the least. There's little reason to think that Colorado would make a change so soon, but the improvements will be needed sooner than later in the big money college football era. Yeah, no doubt about that. But like I said, I think there's a lot of, God, he got to a program that had one win, and then he got 4 wins, and then they won eight games last year with players that ended up in the NFL. It's a lot like Belichick in one situation. He has got to find a quarterback. He's got to find a quarterback. All right. Oddly enough, I actually think North Carolina might be a little closer right now because their defense is much, much, much better than it was earlier in the season. Deion kind of alluded to the fact that maybe some recruits aren't working out, yada, yada, yada. But you got to get that right. And then, of course, you got NIL lurking in the background, driving everything. Deion's at the right program. You know, there was a lot of talk about him in Florida State. Well, he's not going there right now. Not for a while, if he ends up there. ever. But he's at a program that has been so bad for so long that they had a really good season, and that probably bought him. Oh, it wouldn't shock me if last year got him this year, next year, and the year after. Minimum. That's my guess. That last year bought him 3 years to try to figure it out. And it's the kind of program, if he wins 6, 7, 8 games, he's not going anywhere. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.